Core Web Vitals LCP issue. In this video session, we're going to briefly explore what LCP issue is about, and also I'll share some insights with you for you to consider so that you do not have poor URL in Core Web Vitals report. Core Web Vital report shows us mobile report and desktop report. You can double check performance reports on your website and look under devices, because there you will see which devices used when people visit your website. Now, fixing the mobile version of LCP issues compared to desktop version will follow the similar process for 99.9% of website setups. That means if Core Web Vital report is showing problems for desktop version of your website, LCP issue longer than 4 seconds, then if you end up fixing that, and let's imagine the mobile version was also complaining, then fixing both of them follows similar processes, as I've said, for most website setups. Okay. So in this example, we're going to look at the desktop version. The chart here shows us, in this example, we end up seeing 54 poor URLs. And here it's saying one issue. In this example, it's LCP issue. It could be something else. But in this video, we're going to look at LCP. I have not started validation because I've actually recently updated a website. I'll show you how to start the validation. Let's press on the report example, as in the details. Let's press on it. Here we end up seeing some example URLs. We can open that up by pressing that tab to see what URL. We can copy to clipboard, or we can actually press on the tab here, because on the right hand side we end up seeing similar URLs. In this example, there's 20 more URLs. Here, this basically should be a guiding point for your website setup. Let's imagine you operate an e-commerce site and you also have web pages and your blog posts. If that's the case, looking at the example URLs, you may say, okay, you know what? It seems that my blog posts are having problems, but my product pages are not having problems. Make sense? So that's how you're meant to look at the examples here. Furthermore, PageSpeed Insights is your friend. You can easily press on the PageSpeed Insight link for sample URLs to go and run tests using PageSpeed Insights. And I've already done that. And let's see Largest Contentful Paint, what that is, because LCP issue longer than 4 seconds is Largest Contentful Paint. And as you scroll down, you'll actually see a tab that says Largest Contentful Paint element. For my example, it has identified one element. Here it says there is an image element. LCP issues can be for image elements, it can be for video element if you end up having videos on your website. It could be background image if you're using CSS to bring out a background image, perhaps a logo or something. Basically, to simplify what Largest Contentful Paint means is that when someone visits a landing page, there is a portion that takes a bit longer compared to some other portion. Thus, that is called Largest Contentful Paint. In this example, it's an image. And let's go look at the other one, other sample for this. Largest Contentful Paint, in this example, was a different image. Let's go and see what that image is, because now we kind of see it's the featured image for the sample pages, whether it's this page, whether it is a different blog post, because I have images throughout the blog posts. The featured image, it seems, is the Largest Contentful Paint. Makes sense? But imagine if I remove this. If I remove this, then something else will be considered as the next Largest Contentful Paint. Make sense? At this moment, you can, if you end up seeing something similar, okay, I'll actually share insights with you as to how to fix them. You can use plugins. If you're using WordPress or different content management systems, look for cache plugins. It's spelled C-A-C-H plugins. As we can see, there's WordPress, cache plugins for Shopify. If you end up using Magento, there's cache plugins for different content management systems. So you can get a hold of cache plugins, because that's going to improve the page load times a little bit more for your site, for any site. And since images play an important part on websites and LCP issue could be related to images as well, then consider using compression and image optimization. Once again, there are many plugins that you can get your hands on to improve the page load time for your images. The next part is, if you're on a shared server using resources with other websites, perhaps you may sit back and say, okay, you know what? I'm using caching plugins, I'm using image plugins, image compression plugins, but Search Console is still having LCP issue. The next part, you may invest in a better web hosting package. It could be your own IP, it could be a virtual private server that doesn't share resources with other websites. If you end up considering upgrading your web hosting account, then remember, it's just like your local computer. Faster it is, more resources, better it is as well. So in this video session, I've basically shown you how you can quickly and easily identify what the LCP, as in Largest Contentful Paint, part of your website is all about. And I've shared with you some tips and insights so that you can use, whether you have WordPress or different content management system. At the end of the day, remember, Core Web Vitals is usually to do with the speed of page load times. And there are hundreds of different ways to improve page load times. Keep in mind, RankYa blog will actually maintain LCP issue blog posts, and if you're using WordPress, you'll actually gain deeper insights so that Search Console does not have any problems with LCP issues. I thank you very much for learning with RankYa, and I'll talk with you in the next video session.